Hello, welcome to Yoga with an RMT. I'm Dina. Today we're going to be working on activating the core to support the low back. So when that core isn't actively engaging on everyday activities like getting in and out of chairs, getting in and out of the car, going up and down stairs, it can cause pain and discomfort in the back because that low back is taking on more of the work. So today we're going to be working on bringing that conscious awareness, waking up that core muscles to support that low back in everyday activities. We're going to start by doing that right now. So we're going to come down to the mat, onto our backs, but before we do that, we're going to take a moment to engage the core. So squeezing those tummy muscles in. From here, we're going to come down to the forearm on the mat. Straighten out the legs from underneath you. Other hand comes to the mat. Still supporting through the core. Release the bottom arm and gently roll yourself onto your back. Just take a moment to get situated, find comfort here. Feet are on the mat, knees bent. We're going to start by doing some really simple pelvic tilts. So I'm going to bring my hands to my abdominal muscles just to bring that awareness in. I'm going to contract those muscles, bringing my hip points closer to my head. So almost like I'm scooping my tail under. And then we're gonna go in the opposite direction. So you're pushing your tailbone down into the mat. Those hip points are going closer to my knees. We're gonna do this following the breath. So breathing in, scooping that tail under, engaging the core. Breathing out, push the tailbone into the mat, create a little bit of space in the low back. So breathing in and out. Breathe in, hip points come towards the head. Breathe out, hip points go towards the knees. Let's do two more here. Breathing in, engaging the core. Breathing out. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. Return to neutral here. We're going to engage that core enough so that our low back is flat on the mat. Hands down by your sides, keeping that engagement. As we breathe in, we're going to raise our arms towards the ceiling and take them back over our head. Now your hands may or may not reach the floor. No worries, just take them as far as you can. We don't need to strain here, okay? The idea is just to keep that core engaged. Breathe in, raise the arms up. This is also going to create a little bit more space for the spine. Breathe out, lower the arms down. Couple more times moving with the breath, breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Let's do one more here. Still working that core and out. Good, and release here. I'm going to pick the knees up off the mat. What we're going to do is straighten those knees a little bit. So I'm going to do this until I feel my lower back start to part company with the mat. That's my edge. That's where I'm going to start. So this may be a very small movement for you or a very big movement depending on your core engagement today. So again, let's bring those hands to the core for engagement here. And as we breathe in, we're going to straighten those knees out and breathe out, bring them back in. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Let's do two more here. Straighten the knees and back in. Good. From here, bring your hands down to the mat. We're going to take our knees to one side, hover above the ground. Slowly bring it back to center and take it to the other side. So now we're bringing the obliques into the mix here. So all of this is controlled through the core here. So nice and slow. Bring your awareness down into your core. Make sure you're still breathing. Good, let's even it out each side here. And return to center. Good. Bring your knees in, give them a hug, and we'll just rock back and forth a couple times. Giving that low back a little bit of a massage. Release the feet to the mat. About hip distance apart, we're going to come into bridge pose. So hands are down by our side. Engage the core as we slowly begin to lift those hip points up towards the ceiling. Our legs are squeezing together almost as if there's a block in between our knees. Chin is lifted slightly towards the ceiling so there's no crunching through the neck here. And just take a couple deep breaths. On your next breath out, slowly lowers the spine back down onto the mat. Good. From here, let's lift up the right leg, place the right ankle onto the left thigh. You may choose to stay here today. Option to pick up that leg. And a third option is to thread our arms through our legs. Grab the back of the left thigh and we can gently guide that leg towards ourselves. Feel a nice big stretch through the glute muscles. Just take a couple deep breaths as you relax into the stretch. On the next exhale, slowly return that foot to the mat. Right foot to the mat, and let's switch sides. So left ankle comes to right thigh. Again, option to stay right here if that feels great to you today. We can lift that leg, or you can thread the needle here, interlace fingers between or behind the right thigh, and then slowly guide that thigh towards your chest. Notice how one side might feel a little bit different than the other. And just breathe into the stretch. On your next exhale, slowly release the right foot back down to the mat, left foot down to the mat. From here, gently roll to one side. We're going to roll onto our tummies. So again, from here, engage that core as you gently roll yourself onto your front. Coming into Sphinx pose, so here elbows are underneath shoulders. This is putting our low back into a little bit of extension. So if this feels like too much for you, feel free to walk those arms forward a little bit. That's going to take the curve out of the low back a little bit. We're going to pull ourselves forward on the mat, almost like you're trying to pull yourself off the mat. This is going to create a little bit of space in the spine. Shoulders are down, neck is extended. Couple nice big breaths here. And on your next exhale, let's bring our hands back towards the low ribs and lower your forehead down onto the mat. Couple baby cobras here. So as we breathe in, we're going to lift our upper back off the mat. As we breathe out, lower down. So this is working the low back a little bit. Come on up and breathe out, lower. We'll do two more here. And down, and last one. Breathe in and down. Good. Curl the toes under, engage that core as you lift your upper body coming into tabletop position. From here, take your sits bones back towards your heels, reaching forward, coming into child's pose. So relax here, feeling that nice curve through the back. Just take a couple deep breaths to relax the body. Good, and on your next exhale, begin to walk your hands back towards the knees, rolling up through the spine. And then just find yourself in a nice, comfortable seated position. So that's it. These are a couple just gentle exercises to wake up the core a little bit, get that engagement going. And I really do encourage you that if there are everyday activities that do cause you pain or discomfort in the low back, before you start that activity, stop, engage the core, and then proceed. You might find that it might make a big difference. Let me know how it goes in the comments below, and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.